Inflation sucks. But guess what? We are gonna work with it. We are done working against it. We're gonna work with it. Say it with me. We are gonna work with inflation. We are gonna deal with it. We are going to learn to adapt. We are not gonna increase our budget for our groceries. We can do this. In fact, maybe we'll even decrease our budget, because what we can do is we can get in the mindset of Laura Ingalls' mom. We can get in the mindset of your great grandma. How did they do it? I don't know. I don't know how they did it, but we're gonna try. First off, you're gonna ignore my dirty dishes because I didn't feel like doing them last night. I didn't feel like doing them this morning, so I just got them sitting there. It's fine. So after I made my last video, I think it was my last video, maybe it was 2 videos ago, I thought about more ways and more practicality, more practical ways to save money on your budget, because the last video I made, I will link it down below, and I don't know which side it pops up on, but it was kind of on a whim and I didn't really have a chance to think about it. I was just like, you know what, I'm sick of $400 grocery bills. So yes, I do all of my grocery shopping typically at Walmart. My grocery budget includes pretty much everything that you can buy there. So things like paper towels, toilet paper, clothes, like basically you might as well just call it a Walmart budget. But I am gonna try things different. I am gonna try, no, I'm not gonna try, I am gonna do things different. I am going to travel farther to do the Sam's Club and the Costco and the Aldi's, because it is gonna save me in the long run, and I'm gonna stop going to Walmart every single week. So here are my tips and my tricks that I have for you guys to use to save money on your grocery bills, because we are gonna get our grocery budgets down. So if you do not know, I am pretty much already an ingredient-based cook. That means I don't make mashed potatoes out of a box. I don't make lasagna from the freezer meal at the store. No, I make all those things from scratch. So my grocery budget, I feel like, should have already been pretty low, but it wasn't. Now I do have a lot of kids. I have a large family. There's a total of 8 of us. One of them eats like a bird. The rest of them eat like 300-pound football players. So first and foremost, and I know a lot of you probably are not gonna wanna hear this. It's probably gonna be like, no, I'm out of here. I'm done watching this. But hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. If you are not an ingredient-based cook, you have to make that happen. I know. So many of you are gonna be like, nope, screw you. I like my mac and cheese in a box. I like whatever. And honestly, mac and cheese in a box is way cheaper than making mac and cheese from scratch. But we can make a lot of things cheaper and healthier, I know that you know that, by making them from real ingredients, real food. Okay, so with ingredient cooking, what you're gonna do, and this is probably gonna make it even more difficult. I'm sorry, you also are now gonna hear the bottle sheep in my garage because I just let the dog out and now they're all excited. What you're gonna do is you are gonna look in your fridge. You are gonna see, let's look at my fridge, hold on. I just grabbed what I got right there. Like there's more, but I have a bag of open carrot chips. About half of an onion. I have some sliced peppers and some pork sausage right here, okay? This is what I have. Now, what you can do, you can go on Pinterest and you can type in sausage meal. Now you can do that, but here's where we're gonna get you. You're gonna be the type of person that can look at this stuff, throw it in a pot, and you have a meal. So what I will do with this stuff, I'm gonna saute the onions and the peppers in some butter or some oil. I'll probably do butter. It'll be cheaper to do oil though. And then I'm gonna throw the sausage in and then throw a can of rice in there. I can my own rice. That is a Rebel way of canning though. It is not USDA recommended. However, if you are a Rebel, I will link that down below how to do that. Otherwise, you can literally just grab like normal rice, throw it in there with some chicken broth, some water, beef broth, pork broth, whatever kind. Broth is gonna add more flavor. I will probably do another frozen bag of veggies. Like you could do mixed veggies or peas or broccoli or green beans or whatever. I just buy like the $1 bags of frozen veggies at Walmart right there, and I'm gonna have like a meal in a bowl for everybody. So instead of letting all that stuff go to waste and get thrown away, which is, let's say $2.50, that's about $5 worth of stuff right there. Which, when I say that, doesn't sound like a lot, but if we're doing that 2 to 3 times a week, so we'll say we throw away $10 worth of leftovers a week, $40 a month, I'm not gonna do the math because that's not my job. I'm not a mathematician, but you get the idea. It adds up. Save your $5 instead of throwing it away and go get yourself some Starbucks. I'd rather you do that. That's what you're gonna learn to do. You are gonna learn to just throw your food, throw your leftovers into a pan, add some seasonings. I cannot tell you how many meals I have screwed up because they tasted bad because I was like, oh, this might be good. But that's part of the learning curve and you're gonna do it and you're gonna get better at this. And the fun thing about this is this meal now is gonna take me less than 10 minutes of work, okay? Less than 10, even if I use like normal, not canned rice, it'll have to cook a little longer, but it's still gonna be less than 10 minutes of work. Now you might be saying, hey, but wait, what if I don't have any leftovers in my fridge? Great, perfect. Then you're gonna go to your freezer. What needs to be used up in your freezer? After that, you're gonna go to your pantry. The reason we're doing it that way is because obviously things go bad in the fridge first and then they go bad in the freezer first. So you are gonna have to get creative with your substitutions. If a recipe calls for an onion and you don't have an onion, maybe you have a leek. I don't know one person that has a leek in their pantry, but that kind of stuff. You can substitute. If you don't have an onion at all and you don't have a leek, don't put the onion in there. Throw a bunch of onion powder in there. It's okay to use what you have and to not follow the recipe exactly. Sometimes it even turns out better. Right now you might be fighting against me and being like, why would I eat leftovers? They suck, I'm gonna throw them away. No, they don't. No, they don't. You have leftovers from spaghetti and meatballs, guess what? 2 nights later, you're having meatball subs. Or whatever, I don't know. Chop up the meatballs and throw them in with some quinoa and some mixed veggies. Make yourself a meatball bowl, just like we did with the sausage. Use your imagination, get creative, repurpose your leftovers. You don't need to throw them away, you're saving your money. I know you've heard this before, but there's starving kids in Africa that would love to eat your leftovers. Do what your parents said. But I don't want a meatball sub. Okay, then throw your meatballs on a baking sheet, throw them in the freezer for 10 minutes, take them out, throw them in a Ziploc bag, put them in the freezer, use them up next month. I thought that telling you to be an ingredient-based cook was gonna be the worst of my tips, but some of you might get mad at me here, and that is because you have to meal plan. You have to, I'm sorry, you just have to. Otherwise, Thursday night comes, you are freaking tired and you are gonna DoorDash or you are gonna run through the drive-thru and you are gonna spend $50 on your family to eat crappy food that doesn't even taste good anyway. So we are meal planning. It is okay to plan boxed mac and cheese in your Monday night meal. Maybe throw in a $1 bag of broccoli from Walmart. Fry it up in some butter. It tastes good. Add some garlic salt and some salt. Make your veggies taste good. Maybe throw in some leftover chicken breast that you have or leftover sausage, whatever it is. You're gonna meal plan. And then after you meal plan, when you make your grocery list, I want you to think, what do I pay extra for convenience? Am I paying extra for the chopped onions? Am I paying extra for the chopped celery? That stuff is gonna cost more than if you just buy it yourself and do it yourself. And I know time is money and we don't have time to do this, but I can guarantee you, if you swipe left on your iPhone and you see your screen time, I guarantee you, you have a few hours to chop some celery. Do it 1 time a week, do it once every 2 weeks. And then if you only do it once, you don't have to do it every night and it saves you a lot more money, it saves you a lot more time, it saves you in doing dishes. You can do it. So just think, whatever you're buying that is pre-cooked, pre-chopped, whatever, is it worth the extra money? Now, as you're doing your grocery shopping, in the moment, that $1 extra is gonna be like, yes, that is totally worth it. $1 extra for the veggies, $1 extra for the celery, $1 extra for the frozen breakfast sandwiches, I don't know. That's $3. $3 every week you go grocery shopping, $12 a month. You know where I'm going with this. So you can prep, you can be smarter with your time, we just need to manage it a little better, or you can make your kids learn to chop veggies. Make them be your sous chef. They need to learn how to cook. And if you need to learn how to cook, you guys can learn how to cook together at the same time. It'll be great. You'll look back 20 years from now and be like, oh, I'm so glad I wasn't scrolling and I was spending time with my kid. Side note, I scroll all the time, so I'm not judging. I'm just saying there's a little extra time. All right, we have our meal plan made. We have our grocery list made. Now, how many times a week are you going to the grocery store? Are you going twice a week? Are you going 3 times a week? I don't know. Maybe you're only going once a week, which is really good. But we are going to up that. We are going to go once every 10 to 14 days. Because when you're grocery shopping, you impulse buy, which adds more and adds more and adds more. We're going once every 10 to 14 days, okay? But Amber, what about produce? Okay, I have said this 4,000 times, and I'm gonna say it 4,000 more times again because it's just who I am. But just about every day I eat a salad for lunch, and I am very, very specific on the lettuce and the greens that I use. I really like a certain brand, and I can only get 3 things, whatever, a week, because then they start to go bad, and that's if I'm lucky and I get them like right away when they come in. So I do have to get them more often. But you know what you can do? You can do a grocery pickup. $30 minimum at Walmart. Spend $30. You're gonna get your lettuce. You're gonna get your apples. You're gonna get your bananas. Well, if you don't have 6 kids, you're probably not going through as many apples as me, but you get the idea. And then when you're doing a grocery pickup too, you know exactly how much you're spending, you know exactly what's on there. You can, instead of putting the order in right away, come back the next day and say, I love you too. Okay, is this like truly necessary, or can I get it out? So we do not need to impulse buy as much. If you do not have that $30 minimum or whatever it is that your store needs, you are gonna go into the store. Eyes on the prize, self-control, you got this. Grab only the produce that you need because you have already grabbed enough for 10 to 14 days when you went grocery shopping and you were only grabbing what you need. That's it. Nothing else. Got it? Self-control. Put on your blinders. Do not look at that bag of puppy chow. You got this. I feel like everybody should know this, but maybe they don't. Name brand versus store brand. Most of the time it's made in the exact same factory and they just swap the labels. Most of the time. Now, in my ingredient reading days, I have found, and this works vice versa, but sometimes the name brand has less chemicals than the store brand. And in that case, the extra money is worth it to me because I'm paying more for less. But sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes the store brand is actually healthier than the name brand. Either way, the taste does not taste that different. Here's what's gonna be. Okay, my husband doesn't know this. So if you know my husband, here's what I have been doing. He is very much a ranch snob. Okay? Hidden Valley. If you are from the Midwest, you are probably the same way. Guess what I did? I bought Great Value Ranch, the buttermilk ranch, and I replaced it into the Hidden Valley bottle. I have now done that 3 times. Not one person in my family has noticed. Not one. Next thing, I said this on my last video as to what I'm gonna do. We are gonna do a spending freeze. We are not gonna go grocery shopping for a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks to 4 weeks, however long you can go without grocery shopping and grocery shopping out of your pantry and your freezer. And we are gonna save up that money. And then what you do next is up to you. But what I am doing is then I am gonna do a big once a month grocery haul. I used to do this when I did daycare with 12 kids and it was amazing, but I was also eating a lot of convenience foods. Once a month, I'm gonna go get pretty much everything I can and then only do the eye on the prize produce grocery shopping once every 10 days-ish. So you're gonna do your spending freeze and then you're gonna have this chunk of money that you can, maybe you wanna put towards that. Maybe you want to buy a new fridge so that you can see all your fancy produce that you're buying. Maybe you wanna buy a freezer so that you can do that stuff. I don't know what you want to do with your money. It's your money. I'm just trying to help. Another tip that is going to save you time and money is to double your meals and freeze them. Double them, freeze them. Literally takes less than 5 minutes more to double. And then you don't have to cook on Tuesday next week. You don't have to cook when your kid gets sick and you've been rocking him with puke all up and down you all day long. We're helping our future self and we love it. All right, now I know you're like, ugh. Do you ever enjoy life? That I do. Guess what I do every Sunday because we're wild? I don't cook. You wanna know what we do? We eat massive amounts of ice cream. Okay, massive amounts of ice cream. And lately, we've even been taking it up a notch and we've been making brownies, we've been making cookies, whatever, to go with it. And then we do all the toppings. We do the chocolate syrup, the caramel syrup, the whipped cream, the sprinkles. It's a whole thing. When we first started out, it was on Friday nights. Friday nights stopped working for us, so we switched to Sunday nights. Sunday nights are still working for us, but when I started this, I was really into the like, yeah, family movie night, I don't have to do crap. It's now turned into everybody have ice cream and be on their own devices and scroll. So I do have to figure out, like, I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll do a game night with ice cream. We'll see where we go. But as you can see, you can like switch courses and alternate, and if things aren't working for you, then don't do it. Okay, so have a little fun. I know. I'm out of control and wild and fun. I know. Here's another fun thing. Have a family pizza night. Whether you're running through Little Caesars because they have really cheap pizza, or you're making your own pizza at home and making it a whole thing where everybody's in the kitchen getting spaghetti or pizza sauce all over them, or getting flour up on the ceiling. You want to know what my kids think is like hilarious, and like they bring it up constantly, is I have a noodle up on top of my ceiling that has been there for 7 years, maybe even 8 years, and they are constantly bringing up, remember that time you showed us how noodles are done? And it's been stuck there, and I'm not cleaning around it because they love it, and it brings it up all the time. They bring it up all the time, not it. Okay, so now you're saving time, you're saving money, you're making memories, you're putting on music, and you're dancing, and you're having fun, and it is okay. It is okay that your kitchen is gonna get messy. I know, cleaning up sucks, okay? Here's a really big thing in like the circle of people that I watch and I follow, is going to bed with a clean kitchen. I want to do that. I do, I really do. I try to make my kids clean the kitchen up as much as they can. It's never to my standards. I want to be that person that goes to bed with a clean kitchen because I love waking up to a clean kitchen. But after dinner, I am exhausted. I am done from the day. I don't want to clean my kitchen. You guys want to know what I do? I typically clean my kitchen in the morning before everybody else is up. It's okay. It's okay to go to bed with a nasty kitchen. Another thing that is saving me money is buying convenience foods, which I do still buy, but I have like made it a thing where you cannot eat them in the house, okay? They stay in the car, in the trunk, where I have the bags of like chips and whatever. You're not eating them at home, okay? Unless I am like sick, somebody sick, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, like one of those really bad days, which is what, once a quarter for a normal family. For me, it's like, it lasts a week to two every month, it feels like. But only eat the convenient foods in the car, okay? That's for sports, that's for long road trips, etc., etc. Okay, and this is gonna be this tip is gonna be a little bit like controversial to what I've said because we are eating out of our pantry. However, we all remember the toilet paper scare. We don't know if that's gonna happen again or not. So we do want to stock up a little bit. So if you see a sale while you're grocery shopping on, I don't know, maybe you eat a lot of canned pears. Buy 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, whatever that fits in your budget. Throw those in and put them in your pantry shelves. Save them for later. You know, like think of your future self. Does it save you money in the long run? Does it save you time in the long run? Okay, that's actually like all the tips that I could think of. So hopefully, hopefully this is helpful and not just me like going on a rant. I don't know. Do you guys have any tips? If you have tips, leave them in the comments. If this helped you, please hit the like button. I do plan on doing like a grocery haul next month after I do the big monthly grocery haul. But remember, I'm on a spending freeze right now, so I need to save my money so that I can afford to buy the big grocery haul in the month for the month. So don't worry, I'm doing this along with you. We're all poor. It'll be fine. We're going to use what we have. We're going to use the ingredients that we have. We are going to swap ingredients if our recipe that we find on Pinterest or Google or Instagram or whatever, if they call for something and we do not have it, we're not going to buy it. We're going to use something else. We're going to use our leftovers. We're going to meal plan. We're doing this, okay? You've got this. You can do this. I'm doing it with you. It's going to be a thing. We can do this. We're going to save money on our groceries. I'll see you next week.